Wake up, gamers, because you're listening to the Big Think Dimension with Dan and Bob Video Games.
Spanky's quest will continue until morale improves.
Oh no.
KZ Excellent.
I'm Adverb about noun.
And Mr. Feel.
Water, wet, sweat, A-set.
Here on GigaBoots.
What was that you were saying, Bob?
I don't think there was a single thing from Jeff Grubb at this event. I don't think you got any of it right. Weird.
Well, certainly there will be ramifications for this.
Resetting the count to 0 again.
Weird. There's only one flag here. It says 1 day and 0 days since Jeff Grubb was wrong. You think we could have ordered more numbers, but I guess we've just never needed them.
We will no longer be talking about Jeff Grubb.
I'm gonna be honest. I wouldn't have known this, Bob.
Yeah.
I don't. Anytime someone's like Jeff Grubb says, I stop reading a thing, so I didn't know what he said about this event.
We were going to see Twisted Metal, maybe or maybe not.
He said this because Jaffe was excited. Is that it?
No, there was actually stuff from Jaffe saying that he was in no way involved, so he'd be upset if it was true.
And that was enough.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So about how you don't need to be good at predicting anything to be somebody who makes their entire career out of it for at least a couple years. Hopefully he doesn't end up like certain other people who were the leaks master who went insane on Twitter. Let's move on to what we've been playing. Wait, actually, we don't get to move on to that yet, do we, Casey?
Yeah, before we start with it, I thought it was funny that I see this on my timeline. Yoko Taro just tweeted about a game that showed up at the PlayStation show that might look like a game he made. Mm-hmm. And he went, I'm buying this.
Good, based.
Yeah, that is really fucking based.
Yes. Unfortunately.
I'm sure there's things he stole from and he can't be the person to complain.
No, he's the complete origin point for all artistic ideas in Nier Automata.
His entire philosophy is, I want money. Please just give me money. I want to drink more. I also kind of want to drink more after what we did. There's a brand new menu item over at Taco Bell.
Audience, I know you were all very excited after last week's COVID fries. You were like, what a good win for the GigaBoots crew.
Yep.
Finding these delicious fast food items. The world's a better place. Unfortunately, there must be balance in all things.
Equivalent exchange.
And as the prophecy foretold, Taco Bell will bring balance to the force.
Oh, shit.
No.
Yeah, they took away the fries and gave us this.
So we ate the chicken taco sandwich.
The pathetic attempt for Taco Bell to involve themselves in the chicken sandwich wars of fast food, despite them not making sandwiches.
Feel. Pathetic does not begin to describe the food they are serving. It is.
Oh no!
I want you to. What do you think this is, Phil?
I don't know. I feel like it is the absolute definition of pathetic.
It's beyond that. Pathetic means someone, basically tried, right? But what they ended up with was pathetic. They didn't try. This isn't even this aspires to be pathetic.
I'm going to assume. I'm going to assume what this is essentially is you buy frozen chicken tenders from the grocery store. You buy Tyson frozen chicken tenders. Mm-hmm. You make them. You stick them in almost like a pita-like thing with some kind of sauce that is reminiscent of Thousand Island dressing.
Okay.
And you stick jalapenos on it.
Now, what if you received this taco that was on a flatbread that was ripping apart?
So here's the thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The thing you described is literally at minimum 3 to 4 points better than what we ate.
What? 3 to 4?
Yeah. Yeah, it is dire, my man. I've never eaten anything from fast food, like real fast food, that was this fucking dire in my life.
Is this worse than the McRib?
I think so.
Oh,
These
no.
two might disagree,
Yeah,
but
no.
I was repulsed. I finished this, no problem.
the McRib came on bread.
Yeah, it came on bread, but it was mystery meat that tasted like goo.
I'll
Yeah,
take it. I'll take it over this. This was really fucking dire. Imagine,
Don't worry, audience. He's a little crazy about this one.
Imagine KFC made a food item, a menu item that was yesterday's biscuits and the worst of our tenders.
They literally are like the same exact tenders they use for the ones where they soak it in a ton of sauce. What are those? Nashville hot, but no sauce, and it's even drier.
I've actually
The Nashville hot one was good though.
yeah. The thing is,
I
like,
enjoyed that when I ate it.
this
Yeah,
is
there's enough
worse
sauce to make it like
to saturate it at
Yeah.
all, so that way it's not just the driest fucking thing in the world. Because the thing is, the flatbread is stale, and the chicken tender is terrible. It's like incredibly dry and flavorless, and mostly what we will generously describe as batter.
Yeah, it's batter.
In a flatbread that is stale, so when they go to wrap it around it, it snaps. It snaps in half at the hinge. Every single one of ours was like this, and they put the lightest amount of sauce possible on it, and they don't put it on the bottom. They just put a little bit on top. There was almost as much on my wrapper as there was on the fucking thing itself. It is so unbelievably dire. I legitimately am going to give this thing a fucking 2. It's really fucking bad, you guys.
I need to look at my spoiler cast rating so I can give it one more point than the McRib.
I don't like that sauce that's on this. At all.
No, it's not good.
Yeah.
It doesn't save it in the least.
It doesn't make it feel unique even. I feel like it's just a different sauce.
Yeah, it just detracted to it, but
Bob, you gave the McRib a 3 out of 10. You're going to give this a 4 out of 10?
Yeah, sure.
Oh my God. How generous.
yeah. So I actually finished this and was not repulsed by it. I actually kind of liked parts of what I was eating when it wasn't the sauce. I'll give it a 5. Why not?
I feel like
I listened to Dan talk about it. I'm like, whatever, baby. It was just like a mid chicken sandwich.
No. No, mid chicken sandwich is so many steps above this. I've literally never eaten something from fast food that was so I didn't even try than this.
I think if the flatbread wasn't stale,
If the
it would've
flatbread
saved
wasn't
it.
stale, if the chicken wasn't all good, if there was a flavor, if they used more sauce, if they had any other toppings, there's so many different ways this could have improved to be mediocre.
Topping. You didn't get the spicy topping.
All the spicy topping is a jalapeno. That's
Yeah.
not going to save this. Okay, so you're Bob, you're giving it a 4?
Yep.
And KZ, you're giving it a 5?
Yeah.
Okay. You're both very generous.
Here's my bar. If I don't finish it, it's automatically in 4 range.
This one was really tiny though. This was like half the size of McRib at best.
And it still felt like I was chewing through a brick of stale bread. Like that, it is staggering.
Oh, I considered like stopping, but once I got through the part with the sauce, because thankfully it's all at the top, so there's 80% of sandwich left that is sauceless. I was like, all right, I can go in here. It had a good last bite. Had a nice crunch.
Let's see. I got to change this diagram to not divide by 4 when only 3 of us ate a thing. Okay. There we go. There. It's entered in the spoiler cast. We can move on.
What'd you rate it, Dan?
A 2.
Okay.
Because it's worse than the McRib, but I didn't vomit.
Man, what a baby.
Man,
with
I gave the
standards, what
McRib a
baby.
4. I must have been feeling extraordinarily benevolent that day.
Yeah,
honestly,
I would
the
say
Mc- the
I would say giving the McRib a 4 is very generous.
Yeah, I honestly should have moved McRib down, but it's fine. It can remain.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Me and you have a
We'll
clearly...
have to try it again once it comes back.
Oh no! It's our yearly spoiler cast.
Okay, only if we get aggro in. See, yeah, that's the thing, Bob. Like, you're so much more critical of the McRib than me, but we both gave it a 3. Like, I'm like, there are 2 steps, maybe 3 steps below this on a scale.
Yeah, whereas I'm sitting here like McRib's probably the worst fast food thing I've ever eaten.
The McRib is literally the lowest level of food I can eat and not just feel gross and like I'm gonna vomit. That chicken taco sandwich or sandwich taco, which isn't a taco, is terrible.
It's also not a sandwich, though. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I know. That's the worst part of this. They literally just put popular terms, chicken sandwich, because of the fast food chicken sandwich wars, which, as Bill Oakley wisely put it, concluded a while ago.
Yeah.
They just put that into a name generator and went, and taco. We make those. Because if it was a burrito, you would expect more.
The app was getting fucked up for Bob, so it was in the burritos.
Yeah, that
I
was
think
pretty
a
fun.
fried chicken burrito could be pretty good, but they wouldn't do it right.
Yeah, it's just really dire because, of course, Taco Bell doesn't do fried chicken.
Yeah, would be neat to see them try and do that.
Yeah,
Like,
see what you just said? It would be nice to see them try that.
Yeah.
Unlike here, where they didn't try.
no, not at all.
God.
Because you could make something like the crust on those fries. That's really interesting for crust. This doesn't have that.
No.
There's nothing interesting about this.
I literally would have to try really hard to find a frozen chicken tender this bad at any grocery store.
Just take it out of one of those kids' cuisines. You'll be fine.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Num num.
They didn't serve us a kid cuisine nugget that burst juice into the back of Casey's throat.
Right? No, I've seen the Valley of Death.
God, that was fucking dire. So I guess Game of the Year this year needs to have the chicken sandwich ranking, since this was the year of the fast food chicken sandwich war.
Oh, good. We get to have another one of those.
Wasn't that actually
Fantastic.
last year?
No, that was this year. It's fine. We're 9 months in. That's why you thought it was last year. I promise.
Oh, I can see its head. It's like
I'll have
baby.
to travel somewhere to a Popeyes.
Oh my God, I didn't even think about like how close is a Popeyes to feel.
Don't
Right.
worry, there is I will have an opportunity to eat at Popeyes before the end of the year.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say there is the whole factor of if shit calms down enough, extraditing feel over here, so that way we could record Game of the Year like we record Big Think now, and maybe I won't feel like disappearing in January when I have to edit 14 hours of this shit.
Well, let's gather around. It's time to talk about video games.
Agro's like, do you want me on it? I'm like, no, we have too many people. Fuck this.
You can record. I'll run a cable. You can record in the garage.
You can record your own bit, and I'll patch it in at the end of episodes. Just make reaction sounds.
God.
I didn't play anything except for Ghost of Tsushima Iki Island, the DLC.
Ooh.
And Sly Cooper.
Yeah, I played Sly Cooper.
Yeah.
I want to play other Sly Coopers so I can like round up my thoughts on the series
Okay.
before talking about it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It was pretty cool when we got fan art that showed Feel was the final boss of the game, and I'm like, what the fuck's that bird? that was pretty funny.
That tends to happen.
Also,
People
the
do art, huh?
Murray running has a real Carl running energy to it that's really funny.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's real great shit. I really did love that art, though. Thank you, Shore Art, for the fantastic Sly Timber art, and thank you, Shibuya, for co-hosting. The other streams are going to be 17 hours long, so Shibuya will not be co-hosting due to other obligations, at least for Sly 2.
That makes sense. It's not a good idea for anyone to do that.
No, it's in fact a bad idea for us to do that, and yet we do it so frequently.
Only if you're really strong.
I feel bad when I see any streamer just I used to stream 4 hours and now I stream 10, and I'm like, oh God, we gave them the worst idea.
Yeah.
Anyway, hey Bob,
Hey,
let me tell you about Iki Island.
sure. I hear there are kitty cats.
There are kitty cats. There are deer.
Ooh.
You can pet the deer
You can
too.
pet the deer?
That's a goat, my bad.
Yeah, you can pet them. It's really cool.
Do you get to befriend them like a Pokemon?
I mean, I pet them a lot. I assume we're friends.
Okay.
I think we're good.
Are they like in your bowling club now?
No.
Damn it.
But the cool thing about Iki Island is, as I remember Ghost of Tsushima, there are a lot of beautiful environments, but they seem pretty spaced out, you know? And some of them are a little bit less remarkable. I feel like Iki Island's really dense with amazing looking areas. Like, it's visually striking so often, it's kind of insane.
Jeez.
They have the first village you make it to on Iki Island is actually a village cut into a shoreline, into rock wall.
Ooh.
And it looks beautiful. It's unlike anything in the normal game. It's really quite cool. And since this is like a a harbor, you have to get here through a secret entrance and stuff like that. So you're doing this rock climbing, which, you did that in the original. But something about just how this area looks is absolutely beautiful. And then you go to another part of Iki Island for an optional quest there, but therein and later for story stuff that is like an old village that an absolutely ancient battle happened in all these years ago that is completely overgrown with grass and stuff all over every building. It's so beautiful and striking. And man, coming to this after certain other... Oh, wait, that podcast is out by now. Days Gone. It was unreal.
Those days sure did happen.
Those days are fucking gone, all right?
Yeah, they are.
And that's why every time, like multiple times throughout that podcast, I'm like, this doesn't really match up with the rest of Sony's portfolio. Days Gone doesn't. Because you've got Ghost and Spider-Man and The Last of Us 2 and all these amazing looking things with these stunning open worlds in a lot of them. And then Days Gone. And Days Gone's environment's fine, but holy shit, Tsushima looks so good. And I tweeted that fast travel. It's basically a second of load time. Fades to black, fades back in. I'm now on the other side of the island. I'm like, oh, I love PS5 gaming. It's so fucking good.
You don't even see pop-in either. That's the craziest part.
No,
like Genshin goes pretty fast, but there's a little bit of pop-in. This is just,
No, it's all there.
Yeah, it's all there. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's insane.
I really am enjoying the game. I think everyone was right when they said this island is harder than anything in the main game, which is cool because if you remember the Ghost of Tsushima spoiler cast, one of my criticisms of the game is that it was cake.
Yeah.
This is not cake. I often find myself burning through that bar, my key gauge or whatever, in order to spam the L1 R1 combo to do the 3 hits dashing strike. They also added a new unit type, which is like a shaman. And the shaman will use like Zen Pinball leaves an impact, let me tell you. Anyways, he uses an AoE like an aura basically to make every unit more powerful and more blood crazy. So their attacks will become unblockables.
Ooh.
So you have to like snipe these shamans in order to make fighting the rest of them easier. I'm really enjoying it. I am definitely playing that as soon as we're done with Sly 2. So like the next day when I experience what is for the first time in a while a day off.
Ooh.
That'll be neat. Yeah, no, this DLC is great. I'm really, really glad I picked it up. The PS5 version's pretty good. I'm glad that it makes the install size smaller because, man, apparently with the DLC and everything, I think the original bloated up to 100 gigs.
Something like
that. It was huge. Gran Turismo Sport also was 100 gigs. So I played it long enough to be disappointed that it wasn't quite a normal Gran Turismo and then uninstalled it. So that was like 2 or 3 hours. That game still looks stunning though. Yeah. And I recommend anyone who really enjoyed Ghost of Tsushima to go try it, the Iki Island thing, because it's really, really good. Also, they do some interesting stuff with the story, in my opinion. You get more into Jin Sakai's background and some of the story that they talk about roughly in the original, but don't go into heavy detail. So I really appreciate this. I think it's great. And quick anecdote before I hand off to someone else to talk about what they've been playing. I listened to the Academy of Interactive Arts and Sciences podcast, which is that podcast where Ted Price from Insomniac Games, the founder and CEO or whatever, interviews a bunch of different developers. And this time he interviewed the director of Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh.
And he was like, yeah, we decided the game, the size of the island by like riding a horse and seeing how long it would take the player to ride the horse from one side of the island to the other. And then Ted Price is like, that seems like a really logical way to do that. And he's like, no, actually, that's a really, really not logical way to do that, because then you have to fill that space. We had people walking around the studio with shirts that say, the world isn't that large, to make everyone calm down. God. Like, this is the craziest thing. And then Ted Price is like, their shirts said that? He's like, yeah, their shirts said that, so that way people wouldn't panic. I'm like, oh, sweet Christ. But yeah, that interview is pretty interesting. At one point, he said, if it ever comes time to ship one of these big titles again and the world's in a pandemic state, I told Sony I would not be the director to do that. They will have to find someone else to do it. And Ted Price laughs and go, but you're kidding, right? And the guy says nothing. It's like, yeah, that must have been a nightmare.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, we all went home in March, and the game wasn't done yet, and we had to finalize the game in like 3 months
Yeah, that's insane.
from home. And I'm like, oh man, that sucks. Apparently, it was coming together so late that some of the later dialogue in the game wasn't even there for reviewers who got the game all of 2 weeks early.
Oh my God.
So they're like trying to figure out how to get voice acting stuff done and other things from home.
Oh my God.
I'm like, yeah, that sounds like a nightmare. Good fucking job. Shocked this game came together as well as it did. It's still a really fun game. Like, yeah, I've been wanting to do nothing but play that this whole time. But, we had podcast work to do and other things. And Google Stadia apparently has been charging me $10 a month for 2 years. So I had to try to solve that. It is unsolved as of right now.
That's so bad.
I'm like, what the fuck? You can't pretend every email's a new account and also be charging me $10 a month. That makes no sense. So that's fun. Allegedly, they'll solve it sometime in the next week. Hey, Bob.
Hey.
What have you been playing?
I played a couple things. Not too many because we were playing a lot of Days Gone.
You were in the shit?
Yes.
Yeah, we were playing Days Gone and watching The Amazing Spider-Man.
We had a good week.
Yeah, what a good week.
But I did pick up El Shaddai. That got the PC release finally. That game looks really nice.
Yeah.
Like it already
does.
had really great art design. So seeing it just upscaled to like 1080, and it can go past that. Just my computer definitely can't.
I mean, not upscaled, but rendered.
Yeah, rendered.
At 1080.
And for people to know, this is a story that takes place sometime between 16,000 years ago and 360,000 years ago. It's very vague.
Oh, okay.
Everything about the story is really weird. You play as Enoch, a dude who's wearing modern day jeans and no shirt, but has a energy like armor that as you get beat up gets knocked off.
Okay.
And you're on Earth trying to find angels who have escaped to Earth and started like giving Earthlings technology. Because I guess the plot is that all technology that humans ever develop is just a gift from heaven. So like the whole game, you have your save points are Lucifer on a cell phone.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
It's super interesting, and the story is maybe intentionally weirdly told or just poorly told in general.
Yeah, I couldn't figure that out the original time either.
Yeah.
Is this a style or bad translation / writing?
Right? I don't know.
Who knows?
But it got surprisingly deep combat, which is something I kind of remember of like, man, this is way more than I would expect. Like you have delay combos, you have holding the attack to do stronger hits, and you have like this whole system around cleaning your blade. Because after you hit something so many times, it starts getting like impure.
Yes.
It's really neat. I definitely suggest it. It's only like 20, 25, 30, something like that dollars on Steam. If you have any interest in action games or just want to see some really crazy art, pick it up.
Yeah, just the images you tweeted looked absolutely stellar.
Yeah, and the whole thing's running to 60 even on my lousy machine.
Yeah, Bob's computer is ancient. It's approximately as old as Pat's. You're a PC gamer, right, Bob?
You're also a dipshit, right, Bob?
No.
Bob's GPU is at least ancient. I know Pat's is way newer than Bob's.
Yes.
But yeah, I really would like it if they brought that to consoles.
Yeah, I really hope it gets like, because he talked about wanting to do a director's cut. I hope they get that done and put it on PS5 because I would love to see this in 4K.
A gorilla got into the studio.
That's nothing new.
I'm always here.
And the story's also like weirdly self-aware because once you enter like the Tower of Angels, Lucifer comes out and he's like, yeah, if you're good at this, you can probably beat it in 7 hours. I'm like, okay.
Thanks, buddy. Did I need to? Thank you.
And The other thing I played, I picked up Fist, Forged in Shadow Torch.
Yes.
What?
This is a Chinese game we've been seeing advertised.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course.
You play as a furry, like, rabbit person with a giant robot arm. Mm-hmm. And it's a Metroidvania. It's got, like, actually larger combos and stuff. So you have, like, a heavy attack and light attack button. You have air combos. You can have a grab button so you can throw enemies at each other. So there's combat rooms once in a while, but it doesn't feel focused on that. It still feels like, hey, we made an actual decent, like, Metroid-style game. You have good feeling platforming. You can change the movement starts on the analog stick, but there's a switcher, so you can switch to the D-pad. No problem. You get a dash, so they have fairly interesting, like, platforming challenges. And you also have multiple weapons. Like, you start with the robot arm and pretty quickly get, like, this big drill arm, where you can use it as a glide as well. So it's also got platforming stuff around it. It seems really good. I played like several hours of it and was getting really into it. I'm definitely excited to continue playing it. It's got a diesel spunk style to it as well, so it's like, well, it looks all gritty and grungy. And it actually has a PS5 version, so it loads pretty fast and feels good.
Yeah, because they were promoting that of like, here's some PS5 indie games like last year, and that was in the list.
Yeah. So I'm excited to play more of that. It's weird, like, most of the characters are they're anthropomorphic animals, but they're basically just animals standing on hind legs. Like, the main character is a bunny rabbit, just has a full bunny rabbit head, but standing upright. You have raccoons like that too, and a bear. But then you see the cat girl, and for some reason, she's just fully human body. Human-shaped face, but it's furry.
Oh.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm like, okay. Thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, the music is really weird. It's like, it clearly is inspired by Metroid, and some of it's inspired by StarCraft.
Ooh.
So like the main town, like, seems to play a StarCraft-like theme.
Oh, that's fucking me up.
Yeah, I'm like, oh man, this is good stuff.
We talking Terran themes?
Yeah, of course, the Terran theme.
Oh my god.
It's not that good, but it's approaching like that style.
Oh,
so I'm like,
that's cool though.
yeah, I'm excited to play more of this. It's been very linear, but there's still a decent amount of exploring within the linear progression of it. So it's cool. And if you don't have levels, but you get money for your encounters, and then that can be used to buy new attacks. So you're always building out your kit of like moves you can do. So yeah, it's really good so far. I'm excited to go all the way through this and see if it's like, oh man, is this one of the best Metroid style games I played in a long time? But that's it. That's all I played.
KZ, do you play video games?
I do.
Oh, okay. What? Like what?
First up, Square sent me a copy of the Final Fantasy IV Pixel Remaster this week. So I played a little bit of that just to check it out. It's, as you'd expect, the same as us. They fixed some of the bugs that were in the launch of the first three games a few weeks ago, and that applied here. So stuff like screen tearing and some other stuff are not a problem anymore. It's really good. The soundtrack is fantastic now. I really like Final Fantasy IV soundtracks, so seeing them do that thing they did with the first three on this is just blowing my mind. Yeah, just not too much to say about it, except that I'm really excited to finally be able to play 5 for the first time once that ends up coming out. I imagine sometime this year, because this has been really good. Let's see. The only other thing I played was I finished all of Judgment finally, which I started a few weeks ago. And yeah, that's really good. It's probably my favorite Yakuza Studio style game that they put out. I really enjoyed that. Playing it on PS5 definitely felt good. Of it just running perfectly the whole time and stuff like that. The combat overall felt pretty easy throughout. They introduced, at least for me, I found a book on the ground that gave you the Tiger Drop ability, which I assume is a reference to when when Kiryu punches a tiger in the face in Yakuza 2?
No. The
Is it
tiger
not?
drop is the most powerful move Kiryu has that is in every Yakuza game. It's just a counter that instantly deletes enemies.
Oh, okay. So I picked that up less than halfway through the game, and it pretty much deleted this game's challenge for a bunch of it, where you stay locked on the enemy, and if you hit triangle, which is your kick right before an enemy hits you, you will push them and knock them 20 feet away from you, and they'll land on their ass just fucked up. And then I'll walk up to them and kick them in the face because they're on the ground. I hit a boss that you imagine it's going to be a pretty hype fight because it's, a dude that's been fucking with you throughout the game, has like a boxer style fighting style. He did not deal a single point of damage to me because every one of his hits are heavily telegraphed punches that I immediately just countered over and over again. It was intense. Since I bought it on PS5, they give you a bunch of DLC stuff. And I eventually started looking in the inventory. They give you an infinite amount of bombs that are just...
Yeah, they give you wacky stuff.
They give you energy bombs. Some of them are like infinite instant kill bombs, where you just put it on, and for 15 seconds you can hit circle, and you charge up, and then you make a giant Japanese like symbol appear, and it kills every normal enemy around you, and does like an entire bar to a boss. I'm like, this is funny. Chat had me do it on the final boss when he was on the last hit, and I'm like, all right, sure, why not? But yeah, I really enjoyed that. I wasn't expecting to lag as much as I did. However, feel the final tailing mission in this is the funniest shit in the world.
I don't remember it. I've exercised all those from my memory.
So once you're at the end of the story, there's a dude who like you see leave the room you're in, and you're like, I gotta go after that guy. Clearly he's up to some shit. And you start this tailing mission. I'm like, okay, we head around this building, we head around the bend. There's a big building and a giant like forklift. And I'm like, okay. And he slowly goes around it. And then I continue tailing him for about a minute and a half, and I go, did we just go in a circle? And what I learned is that he goes in a circle 3 times before actually going anywhere. Where after that third time we went in a circle, I'm like, is this bugged? Is he just making me go across this building forever? But no, he just does it 3 times to fuck with you. And then I got to the end of it. I'm like, that's funny. I can't wait to see how good tailing is in the next game later this month. It's never hard, I've noticed.
Yeah, it's never hard. It's just time.
Yeah. Which, boy, would I hate it a lot more if I ever lose. Because
oh yeah, that would like make it from annoying to like, what the fuck are you doing?
Mm-hmm. Because at the very least, it does have checkpoints throughout. Every time you hit like this little orange marker, and they're like, okay, we'll play a short scene. But that last one has like a 6-minute segment of circling that building 3 times before you get to the end of it. It's like, come on. Well, let me just get through this. But yeah, that was really good. The dub was also really fantastic. I'm looking forward to the sequel quite a bit now, because you're gonna have more fighting styles than that. Like, I know you're gonna have like 4 as opposed to just 2. So I'm interested in seeing those and how that's gonna flesh things out a little bit. But I'm thinking about it. And it's swirling in my head, and I'm like, surely I played other things. Then I went, oh yeah, I was getting low for a while.
Yeah.
So I didn't really have time to play anything else. So that's it for me.
Yeah, it's like a 36-hour chunk of our last week's just gone.
I know. For a second, I was like, I don't even remember what I did this week.
That's a coping mechanism.
Besides video games. And I'm like, I think I went to a Walmart. I think that was it.
I felt ill for like 30-something hours. I don't know what it was.
I may or may not have felt deep fried. Phil, did you manage to sneak a video game in during our prison sentence?
I played, I'm not going to talk about AI this week because I'm near the end.
Ooh.
And I think I'm near the end.
Oh, okay. I got to click through your VODs. I have to check stuff out.
I got 2 endings and 2 locks.
Yeah.
So I assume I'm pretty close.
Yeah, you're like, it's starting.
This bitch named herself after acetone.
That game's
I
real
got
good.
all caught up on the Genshin Impact story. I thought the story for Liyue was all right. The story for Inazuma is like 1 point below a Realm Reborn quest in Final Fantasy XIV.
Why? What happened?
It's just not interesting or good at all. I told Bob this off content that I need him to get caught up so we can bring up a character during worst character during Game of the Year, because this motherfucker needs to pay.
Yeah, it's better than me telling him to finish fucking Scarlet Nexus. He at least likes Genshin.
Yes.
At least it had a couple cutscenes that had a lot of money and looked really cool. But other than those cutscenes, it really wasn't great. The new area is a lot of fun though. And the new boss is cool, which you unlock by the new weekly boss. Which you better get caught up on that story if you want to level up Aloy, because one of her materials comes from that boss.
Oh, that one, not the other thing. That's just okay. Ugh.
Yeah, there's a new boss, and the way it works in Genshin is that once you get a character's talents, and they have 3, which is their normal attack, their ultra attack, and then their like special move that has a cooldown. Once you get those to level 6 out of 10, it starts requiring something from a weekly boss, which is a boss you can only fight once a week. And Aloy's is the new boss. That new boss is really cool though, and is relatively fun to fight. It just and the story sequences involving them are good. It's just not so great after that. I didn't have time to play anything else. Let me see. Did I watch anything horrible I have to bring up? No. Next week I'll have to bring up Star Trek Generations though.
Oh no. What is that?
Oh, that's the movie that like passed the torch between the original series to Next Generation. It's the one with William Shatner and Captain Picard.
Have you seen it before, Phil?
Oh yeah, I've seen it before. I've seen it like 3 times. So I know it's going to hurt, but I haven't seen it in over a decade.
Now that you're here with me, can you teleport me yet again to another place to start the crossover? Then from there, we can teleport back to the movie's actual plot and then solve it. And then we'll try to get rid of this crossover.
What a miserable
that's about
movie.
how that movie goes.
Yeah, that movie sucks.
It's so bad.
It's even...
Time is like a fire.
Time is like a fire, which is my excuse that any of this shit's about to happen.
But that's all I had going on.
Oh, that's great. I guess we'll talk about Podlords.
Oh, fuck the
Oh,
Podlord.
fuck.
Cool. Podlords. I like those guys.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's right. The Podlords. Podlords such as E. Lee Broyles, Dobo Muito Real, fucking Wolverine,
They're quick.
Man, they really go fast.
Red Blaze 27, Jusuf Frusif, Suzu Shiro, Emperor Zero, Shibuya Gato, helping the Gigaboys become base and slime-pilled.
You got a single fact to back that up.
You got a single fact to back that up. No. Not yet. Mio Kiva and Mia Resident Evil 2 oomfies who hashtag did nothing wrong.
Please do not mention that character to me ever. Also, fucking how dare you compare Mia to Mio? Mio is one of the worst characters in fiction.
Yes, this is a Kamen Rider show, right? Kiva.
Yes, it is. For the short version, this girl is like, it's your job to kill people. It's your job to kill vampires who fall in love with humans. And she goes, I don't want to murder people. Parentheses, because I want this dude's dick. and then she finds out that dude is a vampire and immediately loses all inhibitions about murder. It's like, well, now it doesn't affect me.
Thank you, Podlords.
Thank you. I didn't expect that bullet.
Pronounced like the descending musical scale. Rado.
Rado.
I may have gone too far with the Suezo Busey last week. I won't apologize, but I will spare everyone psychic damage. For now.
Thank God it's regular Busey.
Yeah, but it looks so threatening in a way.
He's handsome, Busey.
Like he's in the darkness.
Shout out to Well Technically's new cat Pearl, who's got some cool shades.
Look at the
Nice.
WTF Spider-Man. Mr. Feel after playing an Uchikoshi game.
Wow, your eyes are gonna fall out.
Yeah, that is how it feels sometimes.
Modern Mage. The Virgin Midnight Suns Wolverine versus the Chad Insomniac Wolverine.
One of those is gonna look a little better.
You want to see how to do a fucking infinite?
God, we've seen 2 Wolverines in 2 weeks.
The power scale is incomparable. You can't bridge that gap.
We didn't even see his face.
DFW3K. Muckbun. Mr. Feel fending off Uchikoshi brain spiders.
No.
It's a GIF. Look, I can't really.
Oh, okay.
Lords, if you make a GIF,
Yeah,
it's for me and me alone.
you don't get gift.
Kristen. Please give me back my clothes if you have them before I doink your kneecaps.
Oh no.
This is rough.
Also, isn't clothes generous? It's usually just a cloth just draped
Look,
over.
Right, but that's something. Right now he's got nothing. He's got shoes.
Fucking free-balling shit.
Yeah.
Santi Kunai. Travis Touchdown versus new Raido Kuzunoha Switch Edition. Me getting cool gunplot despite not getting the ones I wanted, but that is A-okay in my book. Kyle Bjork. Zilter. Showed my 12-year-old cousin Promare. Now she's obsessed with Leo. What have I done? Iron Aggro. Blig de Blue. Schlig is Boo. Too powerful to be contained on the Switch.
Oh, there it is.
Cow.
Monster Hunter. Ryzen and Raiden. Dan Doodle.
Ugh.
It's a trick, Robin. Another word for recycled is re-released. An alien re-releasing a meme for money? It's got to be Todd Howard.
No, I'm just imagining Todd Howard, but he's Romero Joker.
Yes.
I can't deal with the fact one Podlord's the Riddler, the other one's Batman.
Yeah, I know. Just buy Skyrim, Batman.
Gale. Fish. Cooper Tank. Females can't cook. All they know is eternity. Manifest their will into a sick-ass sword. Brood, be lesbian, eat sweets, and kill.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if Dr. Wily is a Fetty, then Sig Sion, motherfuckers. Zasterder. Yes! Kill!
Yes! Yes! Kill!
A cat. Indigo Sykes. Alatos Diogenes will punt baby Foo into the atmosphere stratosphere. Gaijin. BN12. Evil Lucario. Remember to sign up for the Clutchins Insider program to be invited to the Clutchins technical preview. A raccoon that do be rolling. This is a GIF. It's just for me. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
This is really good. Hey, Bob.
Hey.
You can see it.
Yeah, that sure is rolling. Jesus.
I'm pretending to see it.
Oh, okay. What do you think, Casey?
It's like an 8.
Okay. My grandmother once said, "Make the world revolve around you. It's more fun to think that way."
Oh.
The timing of me uploading that wasn't
Holy
intentional.
fuck, Dan. I should just put a gunshot sound effect like right as it comes in.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, fuck me.
Aspiring Bimani ambassador Shinji16 wants to remind you that you matter, you are valid, and you deserve to be happy. I don't know. I spent 36 hours playing fucking Days Gone.
Yeah, well, you're not going to do it again, so I guess it's okay.
I might be beyond the pale of humanity.
It's okay. You had the chicken taco.
I know. I still feel gross.
I should buy another.
You know what? Fuck you. Interlaces your video and desyncs your audio.
Stop doing that!
Maria Kondenzovna Eve has been freed from Walmart and is finally working in videography. Fuck the service industry. That was a warm-up. Now for riddle number 2. Solve it or suffer the same fate of Birch's Wii U.
Oh, no!
I'm just going to read this instead of posting the picture. Kick enemies off cliffs. Cast spells drawing lines. Pray this developer isn't sent to the Forza mines. Oh, man.
Someone sneaks their way into Pod Lord of the Year.
I know, this is fucking insane. Oh man, we gotta move on. Mild Logan Roth is rewatching childhood favorite Oban Star Racers, and oh god, Steve Bloom is here.
He's everywhere.
He's everywhere.
He is forever. He is eternal. Through him we gain everlasting life. Oh, and Virvarm, thank you very much to our Podlords.
Thank you, Pod Lords.
Thank you, Podlords.
Thank you, Podlords.
Thanks, Podlord.
Thanks, Podlords, for making me think.
And if you'd like to become a Podlord, you can go to our Patreon at patreon.com/gbpodcast. For as little as $5 a month, you get many benefits, such as a patron-exclusive show that you get to vote on the subject matter of every month, extended armchair dev pitches and gamer premonitions, and early access to our anime review podcast, Chugging Bleach and Mondo Cool, which were very good decisions, we promise. That's patreon.com/gbpodcast. And if you don't have any money, you can tell your friends. And if you don't have any friends, you can make some and then tell them about us. And if you can't make any friends, I don't know, buy a self-help book.
Oh yeah,
There is a way forward.
This is especially important this week because I just found out we're very close to breaking into the top 100 gaming podcasts in America.
Whoa.
Give us ratings on everything.
Yes, give us ratings on everything. Get every phone in the Apple Store to fucking subscribe to us.
Do it.
Make friends and have a good life. We got to get to news.
Okay.
I guess.
Okay.
We're going to just buzz through the PlayStation event real fast.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
But if you want, we can cover the stuff that came out right before it about acquisitions and oopsie whoopsies, KZ.
All right, first up, correcting their oopsie whoopsie of the week. Sony was going to try and get you to pay to upgrade to Horizon 2 if you went from PS4 to PS5. They're not doing that anymore.
Yeah, the funny thing is, near launch, they were like, yeah, you're definitely gonna get this next gen version. It's gonna work just like these other two games, and then it didn't.
It was just vague enough for people to have really disingenuous arguments about it. Mm-hmm. And then Sony went, "Oh, we've missed the mark." And I'm like, "I'm pretty sure you were hitting the mark you were going for, but thank you for making this upgrade free."
And that was the PlayStation oopsie whoopsie of the week.
Which I believe means you could just buy the PS4 version and get it cheaper as a result, I think, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But then you have to engage with the PS4, PS5 paradigm.
Oh no, help. Okay, we won't do that. Though they did say every one of their games past Horizon you will have to
pay $10.
$10.
Oh my god. I already see people talking about that Uncharted thing.
Okay.
They're like, are we going to have to pay for this? And I'm like, if they stick the cinematic quality model in gameplay, that's fucking worth it, my man.
As long as they don't charge
I think that's
60 or 70, because God, that's not.
70's insane.
Yeah,
There's no
70's
way.
insane.
There's no way they'll charge 70 for two old Uncharted games.
Right, like 50
one
pay
of
like
which was
the max.
$40 new.
Right. So, but
Like I'm
gonna be real.
Like 60 is the max.
I feel like they're going to charge 60 or 50.
It'd be funny if it's 70 on Steam.
That'd be pretty good.
It's the first time they get to play it, so they introduced to the pricing scheme.
And they're like, this is This is what we pay here on PlayStation. Everyone's like, bitch, you live like this?
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and say, people have heard me say this before. Games launching at 70, I can somewhat tolerate. If I dislike it enough, I could just wait. That's a thing any person can do. You can exercise self-control. It's not that hard. The part where cheap-ass gamer goes, hey, this game's on sale and it's 60. That's actually when I get mad.
I got really confused when it was like, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart is on sale. It's $59.94. I'm like, that's a 6. Oh, fuck.
Yep. Because it's always like months after it comes out.
Yes.
You're like, congratulations, you fell from heaven and now live among mortals at $60.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Not everything can be a Ubisoft game where it's worthless after 3 months.
Wow, that's generous.
yeah, I know. Sometimes you got to be nice on these shows.
3 months here, red is 3 weeks.
Translator's note.
Yeah. I would like to note that some Ubisoft games get that Vanquish treatment, where Bob bought it at launch for 60. Something like 2 to 3 weeks later, I got it at 30.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That
happened
I did
a
that
lot
with
in
Tomb
7th
Raider.
Gen.
Oh, you did that with Tomb Raider?
Yeah, I was like, man, I want to play this game. Oh, well, waited 3 weeks. Oh, it's $20. Thank God.
You tell
Yeah,
Bob,
that happened real hard to Tomb Raider.
Jesus.
You're like, hey, Bob, I got this for half off. He's like, that's great. You're buying my lunch the next 2 times now.
Oh.
So Sony, right before the event yesterday, at the time of recording, acquired Fire Sprite. That's a developer who worked on The Playroom, and they made a game called The Persistence.
Yeah, they launched The Persistence on like every platform last year, and I've never once heard of it, and the Steam reviews are mixed. Apparently, the studio is former Cynosis people and has worked on a number of PlayStation things, but also multiplat. So, they helped on in the Playroom VR, some other VR stuff for Sony, and then they did this game last year, and no one cared.
I've seen this cover. I don't know.
The Persistence?
Yeah. It looks 7th gen core.
Yeah.
Persistence.
Yeah. The Persistence, by the way, is both a VR and normal game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You're right, though. It does look very
Yeah, I
similar.
usually see like every relevant game, even like some of the smaller stuff as it comes out, and have not heard of this once.
Yeah, I had even heard of that thing from the Halo guy a little bit before that came out. This is now a year after this came out, and I've never even heard of it.
I was like, was it out when I was working at GameStop? Maybe I literally just saw the cover.
Maybe. Maybe. We're gonna move on though. KZ, do you want to get the rest of your news before I just bust through a ton of PlayStation event stuff?
Sure. First up, the Avengers roadmap was released for the rest of the year. They snuck this one out there, confirming they're going to be doing a raid soon. It's going to cover the you're going to take on that Black Panther bad guy Claw.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. So they're doing that thing Destiny, original Destiny did, where the Taken King came out, but then they put out a raid that's also fight the Taken King.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they're doing that, and then they also confirmed that by the end of the year, Spider-Man will be coming to PlayStation consoles only. That exclusive hero will finally swing in later this year.
I heard that was a huge deal and was just as important as Bethesda being bought by Microsoft.
Okay, I have a problem, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You were talking earlier about certain things that Sony has in terms of like Marvel things. And I went, whatever, at least the Xbox people have Spider-Man through Avengers, then remembered it was exclusive.
Yeah, I think it's a timed exclusive, but I don't know. It doesn't really matter though.
I heard it was just only place. That's why they're not doing an expansion with them. They're like, it's a hero event, so it'll probably be a smaller scale thing instead of we're making a whole story out of a thing that only one chunk of the player base can experience.
Have we seen what he looks like yet?
They showed like a CG art thing.
Okay. Did we see what he looked like without the mask?
No,
Because I'm expecting him to just look like discount store Tom Holland.
I expect him to just look exactly like remaster Spider-Man Peter Parker.
They said it's not that. They said it's nothing like the other Sony games Peter Parker.
Yeah. Their thing has been them talking about trying to make as different a take as like for certain things as they can, which I'm like, yeah, you should do that. All people went when they looked at the art is you see him from the back and they're like, why does Spider-Man have no ass?
Yeah, that's not right.
No, that isn't right.
It's unfortunate. My last piece of news. This was, I believe it was like the end of last week, or it might have been at the start of this one.
Yeah, I think it was like Sunday, Monday.
All right.
Yeah,
The
it was before.
This is Tripwire CEO John Gibson. Tripwire is known for Killing Floor. He made some tweets supporting Texas's abortion ban. He's like, this is great. And everyone went, what the fuck are you doing? He's gone already. Within like 2 days of that happening, he's already gone.
KZ, it's not a ban. It's just that you can get sued for $10,000 if you're seen anywhere near an abortion clinic, and also any citizen of Texas can sue you for it.
Okay, so there's a Texas abortion ban, and John Gibson has been erased for loudly supporting it.
Cool.
And yeah,
That all is a little insane.
yeah,
Yeah. At least they dealt with it quickly.
yeah.
Could you imagine people like Herman Holston and Jim Ryan come out and just randomly say political things?
Well, they're British, so that's always a worrying possibility. So the most stunning part of this to me is finding out that Tripwire isn't British.
Yes, that was also
Like,
me. I'm like,
all-
their game
all
is
Killing
insanely
Floor
British.
The only joke Killing Floor has is like when me and KZ go oi.
Yes,
That's
that game is
every
literally
joke
them
in Killing
going
Floor.
oi.
So they're just out here making a racist video game. Okay.
And I can But the fact that they're like, here's our references to like 1980s British variety television, where it's like the fact you aren't British and are doing those kinds of pulls makes your whole company look insane.
I mean, now I'm just thinking of influencers who pretend to be from Europe.
Yes.
But yeah, my biggest takeaway was one tweet I saw that said John Gibson got removed within 6 weeks, so he can't complain.
What a fucking weird thing to crop up in news this week. Mm-hmm. Let's move on to the PlayStation event real quick.
All right, 40 minutes of cum.
We're gonna maximize things that are important, minimize things that aren't. So I'm gonna give this a little space, and Field can talk. KOTOR remake, timed console exclusive for PS5.
They didn't show anything of it, so I can't say too much. They confirmed that they were rewriting it to some extent, which means that you're gonna have a voiced protagonist, because you didn't have a voiced protagonist in KOTOR, because BioWare didn't start doing that till Mass Effect.
Yeah, so long as the choices aren't the Fallout 4 ones, I don't care.
Yeah, I'm sure the choices will still be mostly the same. Like, even if they voice your protagonist and give him a voiced response to every single line, it still has less dialogue. And even if they do 2 different voice tracks for male and female, it's still less dialogue than any other BioWare game, because most of the characters in KOTOR speak in alien speak, which I am sure they are not changing. You will still get Mucha Shaka Paka with subtitles. That they are not getting rid of that.
I remember someone said that one of the aliens sounded like me. When I try to speak Spanish.
Yeah, when you try to speak Spanish.
That's fair. I've heard you try to speak Spanish.
What do you mean try? Succeed.
Motherfucker looked at Dulce de Leche and said, "What, Dolk Leech? What is this?" Like, he didn't even know what it was. I'm like, what the fuck?
Dan, there's no proof of that because that wasn't recorded content.
Yeah, that is definitely a thing I would just make up.
It's pretty easy to make it up.
That's hyper specific.
You had witnesses.
That's true. Toach was right there.
Whatever. She doesn't have eyes.
She heard you, though.
Oh, shit.
Project Eve, which is definitely not a platinum game made by a Korean studio. Shift Up was shown off. Definitely not a platinum game. Bob, did you have any thoughts on this not platinum game?
Yoko Taro will buy.
It looked very cool. There were also red barrels.
It was very funny.
I want to wonder if there's going to be like low gravity stuff, because they showed it's on a space station and she got knocked into space.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if that's gonna be gameplay or just like, oh no, this looks cool.
Or if that was the opening and then you spend the rest of the time on Earth, because you did see a ton of Terran environments.
Yeah, you did see a ton of on the ground environments.
Mash the X button to not burn up in the atmosphere.
One thing on KOTOR, I really hope that they make it play differently.
I'm positive that they will make a Western RPG that feels a lot more modern.
Yeah.
That it would be nearly impossible to make it exactly KOTOR. So I don't doubt that whatever comes out of this, it will be more in your wheelhouse.
And we didn't get a date for Project Eve, did we? Because we didn't get many.
No, we did not.
So I'm hopeful to see more of that. Looked very cool.
Tiny Tina's Wonderlands.
Okay, next.
Yeah, that's March. Forspoken was shown. That is early 2022. It opens on New York. Presumably, this happens at the same time as the beginning of Stranger of Paradise.
Yes.
She sounds like she might hate chaos. I don't know. It's up in the air. But apparently, that's going to be spring 2022.
Yes.
So that's crazy. I thought that was further out.
Yeah, but they showed a decent amount of different traversal and combat moves, so it's not even just like ranged magic. There was like a cool like energy slash, and they showed like a boss fight at the end where she fought female chaos.
It did have the same energy, which was very funny.
Because I was watching other reactions before we started, and Max went, "Are you fighting chaos?" I was like, "No, it's the same room."
Can't wait for Kingdom Hearts 4 to get announced. Fight chaos,
dude! If I get to fight Garland in Kingdom Hearts, I won't have won more.
That I don't understand though. The Final Fantasy is supposed to be the Kingdom Hearts plot. I was told that by many people who disagree with Bob. We also had Rainbow Six Extraction coming out January 22nd. That's all we need to say. Alan Wake Remastered cruelly announced less than a month in advance for October 6th.
Yeah, good. Another October game.
I like it when remasters are announced close to launching.
Yeah, I think I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, that can be nice, but it's October.
Yeah, but still, I hate it when it's like, yeah, we're finally remastering this thing in 6 months. It's like, come on.
I mean, yeah, but even give me 3. I don't have fucking time in October. You think I have time for Alan Wake and Control in October?
No.
Maybe I do. I don't know.
No.
Every time I think of October, I'm like, everyone's excited for that. I'm excited.
In October so far?
Metroid's happening the same day or 2 days later or some shit.
Yeah.
Okay, Metroid.
Guardians of the Galaxy is coming out at the end of that month, as well as Mario Party.
I don't think Dan was referring to that.
He was
Mario Party,
he was referring to video games.
Yeah, I was excited about Mario Party. Don't bully me. Honestly, we may be in the middle of our fucking Metroid months, to be frank.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Metroid month.
Yeah, we may be in the middle of that. I don't know. Anyway, GTA 5 Next Gen, March 2022.
Which I guess it was originally announced for November, so this is a delay.
Yeah. It was announced for this year at some point, so it's definitively a fucking delay. But hey, at least we have a date that's totally real and not fiscally related.
I do like the idea that we live in a world where GTA 5 got delayed in 2021.
Yeah, isn't that fucking nuts?
It's like, what are you doing?
Ghostwire Tokyo was shown. This footage looked way better, and also had some really cool story stuff.
I like they used that cool shot again of the masked dudes jumping off the fucking tower. I really liked that the first time they showed it. I'm like, this game's sick as shit.
They announced that the main villain's name is Tanya. Do you think that he'll have his arms painted in stripes so that he might be able to punch the protagonist without being able to judge the distance?
God damn it, Bob.
What the fuck does that mean?
Fucking
it's a
Kenshin
reference to Rurouni Kenshin.
Oh, okay. I've never heard of that.
It's a reference to that anime where the guy has the striped arms and then it goes do 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 do, and then the soundtrack gets weird.
Oh, okay.
Guardians of the Galaxy was shown. That also comes out in October, as KZ just said.
Yes.
That looked better in this trailer.
Yeah, it looked even better.
It was not one area.
Yeah, it helped that they made a trailer from a bunch of different parts of the game.
Right, they showed that they had some comedy in there that might be funny.
I like that dog.
Yes, the dog is great.
That dog was really good.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be fucking what is the dog's name? Laika.
Yes.
The fucking dog the Soviets shot into space.
Yes, it is supposed to be like it, yeah.
Oh. That's good.
Deathloop was shown.
No, it wasn't.
This will be the last time we have to see it until it's freed from its Sony timed exclusive. Then Microsoft gets to act like it's a huge deal.
If Xbox starts doing
They absolutely
Yeah,
will.
they will.
God.
I will just laugh
They
because it's
will
like
do
the
it.
shows are already bad enough.
They will do it at least once. They will act like it's a huge deal that it's come home at least once.
Come home to Game Pass.
I don't want to
Yes.
believe it's once. Now that you put that in my head, I'm like 4 times.
I'm an optimist. I assume they do it once and it comes out, but maybe not.
Not for Deathloop.
They showed the Vampire the Masquerade Battle Royale.
It says doomed at the end. Did you write that?
No, that was Phil.
No, I wrote all
Okay.
these.
Since this is in your news, I'm like, oh, Dan wrote this up.
This seems tonally odd. There was that game, I believe, what was it? Amnesia? Something.
I thought that was the
Amnesia.
studio.
No, I think that's the name of the game, and the studio was something else. And the band Radiohead are making a
wasn't
game
even-
that comes out in
Now,
November.
I
It's
saw
fucking
the
weird.
Epic Games thing, and it made me think of like that metaverse shit that like Fortnite will do. So I assumed it would just be some musical experience with Radiohead.
That
Yeah.
seems to be what it is. It's Kid A and Amnesia.
Yes.
It's a digital exhibition of their albums.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's happening now where they do that, like they do it in Fortnite, or like how Martin Luther King is in Fortnite or something. I don't know.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
just
Martin
saw- I
Luther
just
King
saw
was
it
in
with the-
Fortnite.
God.
Martin Luther King was in Fortnite. They had to disable all their emotes. They found out they legally cannot disable the whip crack emote because it cost money to get because it was attached to Catwoman.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
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 You're lying. That
No,
can't be real.
I know
No,
this is
that's-
true because chat showed up 4 times to say that during stream since then, and I ignored them every time.
Oh, okay, good.
I'm like, yeah, we're not talking about
The
that.
only thing I saw was the PlayStation channel having Martin Luther King with the PlayStation branding in the corner. I went, this seems weird.
Oh yeah, that was
This
bizarre as
doesn't
shit.
Yeah,
seem.
That would be the first time Martin Luther King's image was co-opted for capitalism.
Yeah, but I didn't need to see the PlayStation branding on that because then my brain immediately went MLK now on Game Pass, and then I started dying.
Let me go buy my my Che Guevara shirt.
Ooh,
In PlayStation Home. Chia was shown again. Chia is the thing where the main character, it's kind of cute, cel-shaded. The main character can jump into different things, different creatures. So like possess birds, I believe we saw a coconut in the other trailer. We didn't see it in this one. We saw the
No.
crab though.
you can pet the crab.
You can pet the crab.
Yeah, I don't like the art style on the characters too much, but the rest of it looks real nice.
Yeah, the game seems neat. Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy Remastered are coming to the PS5 and PC in early 2022. I swear to God, that gameplay looked like it was using the cinematic quality model,
It'd be so funny.
and that model is insane in how high fidelity it is. So the thought of, yeah, we're doing that and it's 60 frames per second
Isn't
kind of
that-
makes me lose it.
Isn't that what they did with Uncharted 1 through 3 remastered?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's why there's a precedence for this, where they just go, yeah, we're not going to use that bad in-game
Yeah.
like model. We're going to use the insane cutscene one because that's now cake on next gen.
Yeah, and they gave it like a similar name where it's like the Legacy collections or something like that. To, like,
Yeah.
match with the Nathan Drake one. So I play 4 again at least at 60.
Oh yeah, no. Like, let me be clear. I'm buying this.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to play Uncharted 4 again. The only reason I haven't since I beat it the first time is because the load times are so insane.
Yeah.
Because they designed that game to be seamless when you play through it in order and don't skip cutscenes, which means if you're jumping to a level to get all of the items, it takes forever to load.
Yeah.
Because there's not always a cutscene to bring you into a level. So yeah, that's really exciting. It running at 60 is exciting, and them updating both of these is really good. But yes, Uncharted 4 and Uncharted The Lost Legacy as a part of Uncharted: Legacy of Thieves Collection.
They don't mention any multiplayer, so I assume they're not going to
Yeah, I don't
put
know.
that in here, like last time.
I think Naughty Dog twitches every time they hear the word multiplayer nowadays, but
Because they're now in the mines currently working on one.
allegedly. We got Wolverine announced by Insomniac Games. Yeah, I don't know, man. At one point, that was being handled by other people.
I mean, Naughty Dog just put up job listings for
That's good.
their multiplayer game.
That's good.
Oh, okay.
So Wolverine announced by Insomniac.
Pretty crazy.
the They literally are catering to you.
I love this way it introed because it's just like, okay, Sony, Marvel. Wait, this doesn't look like Spider-Man. Is this?
Yeah, because because it had Insomniac. We're like, wait a minute, no.
Dan, me and you were talking about this game 2 days ago before this was announced. We were like, well, Insomniac or Platinum.
Yeah, I was like, literally, you can't. No one is allowed to make a Marvel game about one character. Midnight Suns is a group of characters. Marvel Avengers is a group of characters. Guardians of the Galaxy is a group of characters. And I feel like everyone's scared to do the solo character game. Spider-Man proved successful. So I was talking to Bob and I'm like, I think Insomniac's literally the only people in the industry who get trusted with. You get to make the game that is about this one character. And then I was like, I wish they would do Wolverine, but there's no way. I'm like, that's just too generous to things in the world happening that would make me happy.
Yes, they talked a little bit about it where as they were making Spider-Man, they're like, we really want to do this with Wolverine. And then 2 years after that came out, they pitched it and Marvel said, yeah, go ahead.
It's only the two most popular characters in existence. That's all.
They're like, you're going to do that thing you just did with Wolverine?
I really like this in theory because it's like, okay, we did our Marvel stuff. Now we're going to take Batman. Could you fucking imagine that Wolverine, Spider-Man, and Batman all had like Sony first party?
The sobbing would be unbelievable.
The crying Wojak that would be Rocksteady is they're like, we're making a Suicide Squad game.
Yeah.
Live service Suicide Squad game.
Yeah, even they can't make a solo superhero game anymore. It's too risky.
Which is
even
insane.
That other
it's not.
Batman
It's
game
not.
is 4 characters.
What if people get tired of the Wolverine, said someone somewhere?
Right.
No, never.
Never happened. Hasn't happened yet. What if people don't think the dude with big metal claws who smokes cigars and drinks and gets into bar fights and rides a motorcycle is cool? What if people stop thinking he's cool, Dan?
Yeah, it's a real fucking risk here.
Yes.
We're just gonna have to
Who
take
is
it.
also a ninja in it. By the way, Logan Wolverine, classic example of a libertarian guy with an Asian wife.
Yeah.
Please stop.
I would like to point out people on Twitter are theorizing that the bar that this is filmed in is possibly this famous bar from Marvel. The license plate sitting in the background says the exact issue of Hulk that the Wolverine debuted in.
Come on.
I was like, oh,
I
this
just
is
noticed it was
good.
Quebec. I was like, okay, we're in Canada.
Yeah, it's really good seeing these small
Insomniac
details.
fucking loves comic books, okay?
Yeah, this is nuts. It's and I would like to point out again their output. Okay, so this is something I wasn't going to mention because it didn't have context until we're talking about it right now. At the very end of that Academy of Interactive Arts and Sciences interview with Ted Price, Insomniac Games, talking to the director of Ghost of Tsushima.
Is it Nate Fox or is it someone else?
It's not Nate Fox.
Okay.
I believe it's Brian Fleming. He's talking to him and Brian Fleming goes, one of the things about development that made our lives a lot easier is just, we get along with the publisher and we let them handle parts of this game that make us developing it a lot easier. We have a localization team to help us on the culture of the story we're trying to write and all these other things. And we let them handle that and we handle our own thing and it meshes well. And it makes the game development a lot easier. Ted Price, no shit, just goes, yeah, I wish we figured that out about 20 years ago. I was like, oh my God. Even he's just like, yeah, it would have been nice if I made a shitload of money 20 years ago and got acquired instead of just having to play coy for 20 more years.
I can't handle Insomniac Games being one of the greatest first-party studios in all of video games.
I know Aggro's winning so hard.
I cannot believe the amount of people that I've seen made the exact same tweet. It's like, man, Insomniac's going to make four 10 out of 10s in 3 years.
Yeah.
How's this possible?
Oh yeah, we should mention this is a CG trailer, but this is a team that we can trust. This
It's Insomniac.
It's not Microsoft with a brand new team.
Right.
It's CG, and the game might still look like that.
At no point am I afraid Insomniac won't ship their Wolverine game.
Right?
And at no point am I concerned that it'll be anything less than a 9. Because, that fucking Spider-Man game is one of my favorite games last gen. It's like that and Devil May Cry 5 are the 2 best games of 8th gen.
Dan?
Yeah.
All I'm thinking about is Wolverine photo mode.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
It'll be real good.
This is a PS5 exclusive Wolverine game. That shit's gonna look unreal.
You kept saying it. You're like, I made a gamer premonition of Beast showing up in Spider-Man Miles Morales because I just want a first-party Sony game to just mess with X-Men a little bit.
Yeah.
And then here we go.
And then I win. I win harder than I've ever won.
Yes.
It's so good. That moment during the stream where we're watching it and I realize it's fucking Wolverine.
Yes.
I need to go back and see my own
It
face
is
because Jesus.
It becomes electric.
Oh man, it's gonna be so fucking good, you guys. What were they were saying? The director of Miles Morales is handling that. Is that right? Mm-hmm. That's cool. I really enjoyed the combat in Miles Morales. I do think it was a step up over the original.
Yeah,
I'm really fucking excited,
dude. It's and it's great that Insomniac stopped there and didn't show you anything else.
See, it's cool because if we really need some DLC on top of that game, right after it comes out to do its own sub story. We can just start doing freaky X-Men shit, like projecting his brain into the past.
Yeah.
It's always fun.
X-Men's so fucking dope. Moving on to equally hype news. Well, not for me, but for most humans. Spider-Man 2 by Insomniac is going to be featuring Kraven and Venom, and that trailer was cool as shit.
Yeah, Spider-Man's got the metal limbs now.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like he has the Iron Spider limbs.
Yes. That game's going to be coming out in 2023. It is also confirmed to be PS5 exclusive.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because they had already said they've been hard. The main guy, I think it was Brian Indahar, has already been hard at work on Spider-Man 2 since well before Miles shipped.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And God, I said it this week of Venom on the PS5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and seeing that his design is in fact the Venom.
Yeah. And they were like, hey, this is rendered on a PS5, by the way.
Yes.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh my God.
Also, I'm 90% sure Kraven is Steve Blum.
I wonder if Kraven's like gonna be a main dude, or will he be like Taskmaster where he shows up and drugs you and makes you do a fighting challenge?
I assume it'll be like maybe like the first chunk of the game, and then he'll be less important later because the original Spider-Man game had a shitload of villains.
Yeah,
I assume we'll have a bunch in this one also.
Yeah, I'm interested in what.
And and Kraven's like the Sinister Six member that was just left out.
I mean, we also had he had a ton of voice time in this trailer. I assume he's going to be pretty important.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm so pumped of what other villains they could also be using here, because
with the power of the PS5, they can put in Sandman
and Hydra.
We don't need Sandman and Venom in the same thing. It might be dangerous.
You're crossing some beams.
We'll get Hydro Man instead.
Okay, anything, anything but those two specifically together at the same time.
Oh, it's gonna be really interesting to see how they handle both characters.
Yeah. I'm so hyped for that.
God.
It easily would be one of the most hype things of this if, they didn't give me a date that's really soon, in my opinion, for Gran Turismo. They announced Gran Turismo 7 6 months out. I was like, oh, I thought I was just going to have to sit here on my ass and wait forever.
Uh-huh.
Because you pushed it out of this year. I just assumed it was, and they added that, it's also coming out on PS4. So I was like, I don't know how long I'll have to wait. No, that shit's coming in March. They showed the map again for the simulation mode, and it's like a 3D world.
Yeah, it looks like a Civilization save file where it just loads up all the tiles and all the icons.
It's so fucking good. That game has fucking fantastic vibes for anyone who's never played a Gran Turismo. They showed a lot of the exhaust and spoilers and other stuff, like getting strapped onto your car and how that looks, and oh man, that with instant load times.
And it looks like there's a livery system this time as well, which is where you get to customize all the decals on the car really intricately. And it's like, yes.
Yeah, that's what people want.
Yeah, this was some people's first introduction, I imagine, to a Gran Turismo intro soundtrack, because I learned a couple of days ago that they are just JRPG soundtracks.
Yes, it's really good. It's really good how much pomp and self-importance they have.
Like the fact that, okay, what kind of sound do we want for GT7's trailer? Dancing Mad.
Yeah. Oh, man. That's going to be great. I'm still considering whether or not I'm going to buy my first driving wheel, because I think that would be really fun for stream content. And I know both me and Bob would get a lot out of that.
Yeah, it sounds like a funny bit.
Yeah. Using Jim Rackazers for the American Truck Simulator was really cool. But of course, I'm going to wait. You know, usually they tell you what's the ideal wheels you can buy on the market.
Right.
Don't want to buy in advance because of that.
That'd be like buying a random SSD in advance of the PS5.
And then hoping.
Yeah, and then just assuming they get him mad at Sony of all people.
Yep. That would be like that. God of War Ragnarok. They confirmed the name.
Yeah, finally.
They showed some gameplay.
Atreus is slightly bigger.
He's like 2 years older or something. Who knows?
Yeah. Enough to adjust for the actor's voice.
And tight.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It looked neat. Looked good. It looked like more of 2018. I think that's pretty exciting. We didn't get a date on that though.
No, but it looked really amazing in a lot of ways.
I just assume fall of next year.
I can hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems like an easy.
I'm like that level of gameplay that they showed of like different fights, different like mini bosses and stuff. I'm like, that seems like something you could get in like an October.
Yeah, I hope.
Yeah, that
Because they're already kind of chunky right now in the front between Gran Turismo, Horizon, the Uncharted remasters.
Don't worry, there's something else we don't know about for fall. It's going to come out in June.
Or it'll be like
There's
this.
another Insomniac game, Bob.
Or it'll be like this year, and it'll be like, there's nothing for fall. Nintendo, it's your turn. Microsoft's like, when is it my turn? And everyone goes, when you have games.
they're like, yeah, it's like I don't know, Microsoft. When the fuck is it your turn?
Because that's the thing. Nintendo has like 6 or more titles coming out at the end of this year.
Nintendo, it's your turn for this next fall. What do you have? Zelda.
Yeah, it's like, I have the one gun. That's all I need.
Everything in its path.
Could you imagine? They're like, Zelda and Metroid Prime 4. Good luck, anyone.
Bayonetta 3 that March afterward.
Holy shit. But yeah, God of War Ragnarok looked really good.
Yeah.
It looked like more of that same fucking really good game that I played last time. I guess
Kratos attaches a grappling hook to the top of a cliff and instantly jumps up there.
I actually missed
which is
that.
something we joked about.
Yes. Yeah, he totally has some grapple tech now.
Thank God.
Which I'm like, okay, you're just becoming Doomman.
It's going to be really funny if it's like, assuming the PS4 version still exists, I'm not convinced it'll actually ever be realized. It's just like, yeah, on PS5, your sled on the ice goes 3 times faster.
There's no boost. There's only one dog.
Yo, that would be like if the nitrous in Days Gone felt good. Instead, I hit that button and it's like, you're going faster. I'm like, you're sure? It doesn't feel it. I want you to go much faster than this.
It kind of feels like you're going faster.
It for like a few seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need that thing to haul ass if it's going to be nitrous.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they also announced that the director was new for this one.
Well, they have a new director.
Yes.
The director isn't new. The director's been there for 17 years.
He's been there since 2004.
Yes.
He's like, I outlast everyone, and that's how I got this job. And I'm like,
Every part of that interview was fucking great.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw people not understanding the jokes of like Cory Barlog being like, oh, is that what you guys were tweeting this whole time? I didn't realize. Oh, yeah. I could see how that was what you were calling that game. Okay.
Yeah. Cory Barlog going, I liked passing off directorial duties because I'm really tired and I want to just throw it to someone else and make them feel tired.
He's like, I tricked him into being the director for this one so I could go do other things. And I'm like, oh, good. I would love Sony Santa Monica to get up there with Insomniac, right?
Yeah, that'd be pretty insane.
That would be fan-fucking-tastic if Insomniac weren't like Sony's absolute best studio by a huge fucking margin. Because they have like 800 employees or some shit and turn out the best fucking video
Yeah, it turns out they're the most talented studio in the world, and now that they don't have to worry about pitches and money, they suddenly become invincible.
Yes.
They've dropped the fucking weighted clothing and have cloned themselves.
Yeah, it's insane. I think it's really funny. Like, once again, aggro has never won more. That we enter this gen, Bob, and it's, you know, I hope Naughty Dog and Sony Santa Monica can catch up to Insomniac.
Yeah, that is really funny.
That is insane.
The only way it could be more insane if it was like, I hope Naughty Dog and I hope Naughty Dog can someday catch up to Sucker Punch, which, to be fair, I do, but
Naughty Dog is now the worst they've ever been. They're completely fallen flat on their face after Last of Us 2 got barely shipped out the door and killed everyone, apparently.
yeah, the burn through with the studio and everything else you heard about it made me go, I don't even know what to expect from you anymore.
Yeah, I used to be able to be excited for things other than that. Instead, it's like your worst game ever made your studio crumble, and that's the saddest thing.
I'm hoping that like this Uncharted thing is them going like, we need to fucking like completely change our development process so this never happens again. Here's a small project we can work out a different workflow.
Yeah, there's someone on Twitter who's just like, you're just turning out this collection so that way you can make back some of the money you spent on The Last of Us. And I just read that and went, yes. Is that
wrong?
Is there a problem? Is there a problem?
That's how business works.
It's checks and balances. Things have to get balanced at some point.
Yeah, I imagine they'll want to maybe fix things up there a little bit now that they have this reputation on discourse of being the biggest meat grinder studio, seemingly even worse than Rockstar was.
Interestingly, though, they are bringing back older staff, like veterans from early PS3 who left by late PS3. So they are getting some of the old blood back to hopefully reform the studio and make it a stronger.
Yeah, and if they haven't changed, we'll know when those people leave again in 2 years.
All you have to do, if you don't see them leaving yet, then everything seemingly is fine.
Yeah, that's why like Santa Monica feels better. Corey Balrog is taking a different position in Santa Monica. He didn't leave.
Yes, he's studio director. And that just makes me confident that they're going to build out the studio to be even better than ever.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I look at Naughty Dog, and this is like the first time I've ever looked at Naughty Dog since the release of The Last of Us Part 2. For the first time in their entire career where I looked at them, I'm like, I don't know what to expect from you now, because like the last thing they did was make another Uncharted, and then the thing they did after that was make another Last of Us, and the feedback on both of those games was, we're good now, please stop. So I don't know from that angle, but fucking so glad Insomniac's knocking it out of the fucking park.
Yeah.
And honestly, God of War Ragnarok looking really good. Like,
yeah, it looks like Super God of War, which is ultimately what I want all next gen sequels to look like.
Okay, Phil, I'm gonna need you to jump to your second fucking bullet of news because I missed this. What? Not the first part is what I missed. The second part.
What?
You see?
Oh yeah, that's how.
What?
I might have missed the no Xbox One part, but that's how it was announced. This. I put that bullet in this Sony show, which would make sense because it's Xbox back compat.
Oh,
so they're like, why release it on the platform?
But yeah, Alan Wake Remastered not on Xbox One.
That's a little weird.
Yeah,
maybe apparently they're re-rendering the pre-rendered cutscenes.
Oh yeah, they're just making a way better version of that game apparently.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that was just wrong, and it is now. So let me look. I'll look right
let's
now.
see. Phil may have been tricked by the Xbox logo dimension.
Yes.
No.
Okay.
Oh.
No Xbox One.
It's on back compat, so I guess that makes sense. Why waste studio resources?
Okay.
Good enough.
It's like we don't want to confuse people with their names.
I assume that's also coming to PC at some point because wasn't there some?
Yeah, it's Epic.
Yeah. Okay. So it's Epic
it's
Game
Epic.
Store. Okay. All right.
Because they have the deal. They have the deal with Remedy, so everything's going to be like on them first for a while.
We can move to the other Epic Game Store stuff.
Sure. Final Fantasy VII Remake might be coming to PC as an EGS exclusive. Yes, it is, because Square Enix loves money. Still no sign of that Xbox port.
Yeah, Square's been getting in bed with Epic a lot. Kingdom Hearts.
That's
all
because Epic is like,
that.
do you want money?
Yes.
And they're like, yes, we do.
Epic Game Store games might sell better than the Xbox games, guys.
I mean, yes, that's what. This is how little faith. This is how little faith, Bob, they had. They're like, sure, Neo: The World Ends with You will be on Epic. It's not out yet, but they signed that deal.
Yeah.
And that deal alone probably makes that game profitable.
Right, and I was gonna say, like, they definitely make enough money from the deal where Epic Game Store can be more profitable than Xbox.
But yeah, it just feels like if it's a high-profile game, it's going to appear on Epic if it's from Square. It seems like.
Yeah, and why not get that paycheck?
Yeah.
Make that money, as long as it's only timed exclusive, which it always is. Why not?
Yeah.
Phil, I will let you choose what the next thing you talk about is.
Okay, so Toby Fox, creator of Undertale and Deltarune, is like, on the 15th of September, I'm going to play through all of Deltarune Chapter 1 for some reason.
That's literally the event is you're invited to the We Play Deltarune Chapter 1 for some reason.
Presumably there'll be some real info about Chapter 2.
Yeah, I think a part of the announcement was even like, me and 3 dads are going to be playing through Chapter 1. I'm like, what? What does that mean?
Don't doubt Toby Fox. The release of Chapter 1 was, hey, would you like to test this random thing that I'm working on? And then you start it, and then he goes, surprise! It's the first chapter of an entirely
Surprise!
new game.
This is a 3-hour chunk of game.
Yeah,
I really my favorite thing of that. By the way, we're going on 3 years, so it would make sense for Chapter 2 to be pretty soon. But it was like he's like, sorry, because this 3-hour game was released for free, I am surrounded by a barrier that protects me from all complaints about this game.
Yep.
I love Toby Fox so much.
So does Sakura.
Okay, KZ,
Yes,
you called Hideo Baba the evil.
I did.
And talked about him leaving Namco Bandai.
Yeah, I think
and
I've done
went
it
to
on
bat
like
for him.
I've done like 5 or 6 big things where I've called him the evil. Yeah,
I defended him.
you did.
And I'm gonna apologize to you for defending him because I didn't know. I looked into this. Now, Hideo Baba entirely rewrote Tales of Zestiria within the last year of development so he could flirt with a voice actress he likes. Sounds fucking crazy.
What?
That sounds fucking insane. But then you look at the fact that he immediately left the industry forever as soon as that game came out. And then you look at all the stuff that happened. Okay, so Tales of Zestiria. There was a big controversy when that game came out because the character that was advertised as the heroine
on all marketing
leaves 20% of the way through the game and gets replaced by by a mad quirky red-haired girl who has a really popular voice actress.
And it's funny because this character leaves and only comes back occasionally and is irrelevant, like in a really depressing way.
Weird.
And the rumors, because none of these are 100% confirmed, the rumors are that, Hideo Baba's like, well, I want this voice actress to be in the game, so I'm just going to completely rewrite the story in the last, 18 months of development and have to staple the game together into some sort of horrible homunculus so that she can be in this game more. Reading about the development of Tales of Zestiria is like reading about the biblical plagues.
How?
It's like, all the writers on the game were like, we can't tell a story when everything happening is invisible to normal people.
Yeah, it's the concept of like the spirit characters in that can't be seen by normal people.
Including the main antagonist who's doing things.
Oh.
So they were like, we can't really tell a story when nobody in the game world can react. I think it's worth noting that in Berseria, which is set in the same universe as Hysteria, the first thing that happens in the story almost is, this magic thing's happened, so now everybody can see spirit people.
Also,
that is all.
Tales of Hysteria, having played all of it and gone through that game, the main villain basically does nothing, like throughout almost the entire game. Where I'm like, why is all the antagonists feel completely inactive in a way that it's like No other Tales game is like that. Like, they're at least doing something, and events are changing because of their action. No, he kind of just, like, chills out.
Reading about it's like every single thing I think about that game, it's like, wow, the combat's bad. And they're like, yeah, we know the combat was bad. It was bad because we had to take into account the real-time transitions from being onto the map to into combat, which is another thing Berseria doesn't do.
It's just literally like they tried to make a game you would hate in particular.
And it's like, wow, these areas are really bad, and it doesn't feel worth whatever you had to sacrifice to them. So like, yeah, we know all the areas are really bad. We had to massively compromise because they decided later in development this would also be on PS3.
Oh man, does it run so bad on PS3.
But the fact that, like, Hideo Baba, multiple people from inside the studio expressed, like, yeah, he just made us shove in this new girl, and then he immediately gets, like, black bagged. Because what happened is Asteria came out, he got promoted to a position where he had nothing to do with development anymore. Sat there for a couple months, went to Square Enix, did nothing, and then left the industry forever.
Did nothing? What do you mean? They revealed his game at a TGS and then immediately canceled it, and then he disappeared. So we got to see his game that looked terrible.
So I can't believe it. I can't believe that every single thing I hate about that game is like, yeah, they knew.
Yeah, because you play the next game and it changes course on every single area. It's great.
What a horror. What a terrible game. I'm done.
Yeah,
Bob.
I
It's up to you.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, Bob.
Hey.
You have news that somehow slipped through my radar.
Yeah, Bomberman R is adding Soma from Castlevania.
Fuck yes.
He's the start of season 2. So there's going to be a whole other season of these random Bomberman characters showing up. So that's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
It's Bomberman R Online. I'm not entirely sure if that's a separate game from the Bomberman R we bought or how that works. I need to look into it.
I assume it's just rebranded, but
right.
maybe they're insane.
Maybe.
Yeah. For people who don't know, Soma is Soma Kurusu from Aria of Sorrow, Castlevania. Very good.
There was other characters being added to funny little games like that in the form of Monkey Ball.
That's true.
Oh yeah, we did get new Monkey Ball characters.
Yeah, what are those new characters, Bob?
Sega Saturn, Sega Dreamcast, in the Game Gear.
Yes.
So smart.
You can now play as these legends alongside Suezo and Morgana for Persona 5.
And of course, my most important piece of news.
Mm-hmm. Clearly,
Nipponichi.
the most important news of the week, really.
Obviously.
This is really insane for a reason I will reveal after Bob talks.
Rini presents Nipponichi Classic Collection Volume 2, ZHP in Makai Kingdom, coming in spring. Makai Kingdom has a new story mode with PETA.
It is not new. It's from the PSP port, which means both of these are PSP ports not being released on a Sony platform.
Yep.
Oh, okay. It's just like the Prinny game where they just grab the PSP.
But yeah, I don't know why this thing is only on PC and Switch. It's really upsetting. It's like, your whole fan base started on PlayStation, right?
Nope. We're going to pretend that doesn't matter.
I'm starting to wonder if this is some weird thing from the Japanese side. Because Nipponichi Software of America releases PS4 games all the time. They publish other shit constantly. So I'm just wondering if this is some bizarre thing where it's like, no, they don't sell on PlayStation in America. They only sell on Switch in America.
Yeah, their brain got broken with Disgaea 5 didn't do very well on PS4, but then it saved
And then it
their
did really
company.
well on Switch.
Yeah, it saved their company.
At launch.
At launch.
At launch.
Yes,
Yep, where the other one launched aside Bloodborne. What a dumb thing. I love Makai Kingdom. It's like one of my favorite of those games. It's really perfected the Profane and Brave combat style.
Is that the book guy?
Yeah, that's a book guy.
Hell yeah, I've never played the book guy, but I know he shows up at Disgaea occasionally.
Yeah, he is really great.
I believe he's the badass freaking overlord.
And ZHP is a dungeon crawler.
Ah.
But
It's like a roguelite. It's like a roguelite type thing where you have lots of different parts for your superhero protagonist.
Yeah, you make your own like Power Ranger-esque dude and get to upgrade him in all sorts of weird ways.
Yeah, it's ZI Hero Project Hero of Justice versus Dark Death Evil Man. I think that's the first full title.
That sounds insane, but whatever. Disgaea 5's main villain is Void Dark.
Yeah, he's fucking raw. Yeah, no, Unlosing Ranger versus Dark Death Evil Man.
Good stuff.
Yep.
This is a really great collection. I think this is a much more solid collection than the last one. It's like Phantom Brave and then something no one wants.
Soul Nomad and the World
6
Eater.
and a 2. A 6 and a 2.
It's just called Phantom Brave a 6.
Phantom Brave's a 6.
Jesus Christ.
He mainly was just wanted to give Soul Nomad a 2. I've heard some shit about Soul Nomad as someone I know is playing it. I'm like, okay, I'm starting to understand why you're so passionate. I heard about some shit being randomized in that sounds real bad.
Okay, well, that's all the news for this week. I'm photoshopping Pat stares at face onto Thor from Thor Ragnarok or God of War Ragnarok. KZ, what are you doing in the next week?
Okay, at the start, when this comes out, I will have begun yet another thing where I play video games that people gave me money to play. This includes Blinks, the Time Sweeper, as well as Resident Evil Dead Aim on PS2 and the Looney Tunes Back in Action movie game.
KZ,
Yes.
I understand the first two. Who chose the Looney Tunes? Why is that there?
All right. Here's the simple premise. I went, hey, co-hosts, give me something bad. And they're like, I played this when I was 8, and I assume it's terrible. And then they looked it up and went, yeah, it actually is terrible. I'm like, sure, I'll just put it in there. Why not?
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll be running a goal to see whether or not my followers are willing to throw money to make me play TAC 2, and we'll find out if they're brave enough.
Oh my God, why would you offer to play?
Already? You don't even make them wait? All right.
Christ.
What? I have to pay editors.
And buy chairs.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're to be sincere, even though, yeah, I am actually photoshopping Pat's face onto Thor, seeing if I could get an image that works for that. We are doing Sly Month still. We're just going to do it at a moderate pace of 1 17-hour game a weekend, because I think that would be nice to ourselves. I think that would be pleasant. So we'll be doing that. Hey, Phil.
By the time you hear this, I'll have hopefully beaten AI the Somnium Files, because I feel like I'm pretty close. After that, maybe I'll play Final Fantasy VIII. Who knows?
I don't know, man. The Final Fantasy IV remaster is real good.
It is.
I watched a person who beat the entire thing in one fucking sitting. I was like, Jesus Christ.
It's a good time.
Yeah, it's real good.
Mm-hmm. You can hear a song from the Bleach anime in there, remixed.
Is that episode? Yeah, that episode came out, right?
Yes, it did.
Oh, thank God.
Don't worry, I pay attention.
Dude, I don't fucking know anymore. I'll be real. I don't fucking know anymore.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Remember how I started this podcast going, Days Gone. All right, that did come out.
I think it's time to get low and hit the stop button on this machine.
Sure.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Big Thing to Mention. If you would like to support us, head on over to www.patreon.com/gbpodcast, where you can get extra podcasts and early access to our anime podcast, Chugging Bleach and Mondo Cool. Head on over there and become a $5 backer or a podlord today. This month's GigaBoots executive producers are Esme, E. Lee Broyles, Starfalcon, Spaceman Spiff, Red Blaze 27, Brendan O'Sullivan, Dobo Muito Real, Ace Gundam Pilot Adam Admar, Cooper Tank, Zilter, and Virmvarn. Thank you very much to our executive producers. And also these gamers. If you want to be a gamer or ascend to God Kinghood, then head on over to patreon.com/gigaboots today.